Today we will solve Physics A2 paper 9702 P41 topic gravitation and questions from 2014 to 2016. Paper 41 May-June 14. The same question is repeated in 43 May-June 14. Question 1A part. Define gravitational potential at a point. Gravitational potential at a point in a gravitational field is defined as the work done per unit mass in bringing a small test mass from infinity to the point. Next part. Same thing is written here. Okay, next part. A stone of mass m has gravitational potential energy EP at a point x in a gravitational field. The magnitude of the gravitational potential at x is phi. State the relation between m, EP and phi. Here this EP represents gravitational potential energy, m is mass of the object, and this phi is for gravitational potential, and we have to find out a mathematical expression relating all these three. Okay, gravitational potential energy is given as m phi. Gravitational potential energy is equal to m phi. This minus sign represents force of attraction. When the object is moving toward the surface of a planet, we have to use minus sign. An isolated spherical planet of radius r may be assumed to have all its mass concentrated at its center. The gravitational potential at the surface of the planet is minus 6.3 into 10 power 7 joule per kg. A stone of mass 1.3 kg is traveling towards the planet such that its distance from the center of the planet changes from 6r to 5r. Calculate the change in gravitational potential energy of the stone. Here is one stone that is moving toward the surface of the planet. When it is at a distance of 6r, we have to calculate its gravitational potential, and when it is at 5r, we have to calculate its gravitational potential, and by subtracting, we have to get the change in gravitational potential and gravitational potential energy. Change in gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential is given as minus gm over r. In this equation, this g is universal gravitational constant and this m is mass of the planet. For a particular case, the mass of the planet is also constant, so we can say gravitational potential is inversely proportional to separation between them. Okay, it means gravitational potential depends only the distance between the object and the planet. So gravitational potential at 6r will be equal to gravitational potential divided by 6. That will give us answer minus 1.05 into 10 power 7. Then we have to calculate gravitational potential at 5r. At 5r, this gravitational potential is minus 6.3. It is minus 6.3, not plus. It is also here, it is minus 6.3. So minus 6.3 into 10 power 7 divided by 5, we will get the answer minus 1.26 into 10 power 7. Now we have to calculate change in the gravitational potential. To calculate the change in the gravitational potential, we have to subtract the value what we got at 6r from the value that we got at 5r. At 5r, we got minus 1.26 into 10 power 7. From this value, we have to subtract the value that we got at the distance of 6r, means minus 1.05 into 10 power 7. This sign is of the formula, and these two values we got with the negative sign. So when we solve this one, this will be negative, and this minus multiplied by minus, we will get a positive sign. And we solve this one, we will get answer minus 0.21 into 10 power 7. This minus 0.21 10 power 7 is value of gravitational potential. Now we have to calculate gravitational potential energy. as we have seen before, that gravitational potential energy is equal to m phi. Value of phi is minus 0.21 into 10 power 7, and this value of mass is given here 1.3 kg. So we have to multiply 1.3 by minus 0.21 into 10 power 7. We will get an answer minus 2.7 into 10 power 6. What this minus sign represents? This minus sign shows potential energy is decreasing as the object is moving towards the surface of the planet. Okay, 41 October November 14, and same question is repeated in 42 October November 14. Question number 1. An isolated spherical planet has a diameter of 6.8 into 10 power 6 meter. Its mass of 6.4 into 10 power 23 kg may be assumed to be a point mass at the center of the planet. Show that the gravitational field strength at the surface of the planet is 3.7 Newton per kg. What is the formula of gravitational field strength? Gravitational field strength is given as gravitational field strength G is given as capital G capital M over R square, where this capital G is a gravitational constant, this M is mass of the planet, and this R is the separation between the object and the planet. Okay, the gravitational field strength is equal to Gm over R square. Now this G, universal gravitational constant, and its value is 6.67 into 10 power minus 11. This M is mass of the planet. Mass of the planet is given here 6.4 into 10 power 23, 6.4 into 10 power 23. And what is the value of R? R is the radius, or R is the distance from center of the planet. Okay. We have to calculate gravitational field strength at surface of the planet. When we have to calculate gravitational field strength at surface of the planet, so the distance we have to take from center of the planet up to the surface. It means we have to take a distance that will be equal to radius of the planet. Here we have diameter. From diameter we have to calculate radius. Radius is half of the diameter, so we have to divide this value by 2. We will get the radius of the planet. When we will divide 6.8 into 10 power 6 by 2, we will get 3.4 into 10 power 6 whole square, and when we will solve this one, we will get answer 3.7 Newton per kg. 3.7 Newton per kg. Next part, a stone of mass 2.4 kg is raised from surface of a planet through a vertical height of 1800 meter. Use the value of field strength given in A to determine the change in gravitational potential energy of the stone. Explain your working. Okay, here suppose this is surface of a planet. At surface of the planet, one object or one stone is kept here. We have to raise this stone to a certain height, and we have to calculate at this certain height, we have to calculate gravitational potential energy. Okay, when we will move the object from surface of the planet to a certain height, it means some work is done. So we can say the change in potential energy will be equal to work done, and formula for work done is equal to force into displacement. In this particular case, force is equal to weight of the object, and the displacement is the height that the stone has moved. Now weight is given as m into g, and this height is represented by letter h, by alphabet h. So we can say that gravitational potential energy is equal to mg, h or mg delta h. Delta h we are using just because of the change in height. Okay, m is mass of the object. It is given 2.4. This g 3.7 that we have calculated in the previous part. This is 3.7. So m is 2.4 given. This 3.7 we have calculated before, and this is the vertical height h. It is 1800. It is given here. Now just we have to multiply all these values. We will get the answer 1.6 into 10 power 4 joules. A rock initially at rest at infinity moves towards the planet. At point P, its height above the surface of the planet is 3.5 d, where d is the diameter of the planet as shown in the figure 1.1. This is a planet, and here at point P an object is placed, and the distance between this object and from the center of the planet is equal to 4 times of the diameter. Why 4 times of the diameter? Because it is given from the surface of the planet. From this point the distance is given 3.5 d. Now this is complete diameter. We have to take the distance from the center of the planet. So this is the diameter d. From center of the planet to the surface of the planet it will be 0.5 d. So total distance from center of the planet to the object will be 4 times of the diameter, or we can say simply 4d. Calculate the speed of the rock at point P, assuming that the change in gravitational potential energy is all transferred to kinetic energy. Okay, it is given here. Gravitational potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. Formula for the kinetic energy is half mv square, and formula for the gravitational potential energy is gmm over x. Formula for gravitational potential energy is gmm over x. G capital M small m over r is given here. R is for the separation. We can use r or we can use x. Both the alphabet we can use. Any alphabet, whether you want to use r or you want to use x, you can use that one. Okay, here small m is mass of the object that is moving towards the planet, and this capital M is mass of the planet. Now what we are looking here, this small m will be cancelled out, and when this small m will be cancelled out, we will get the equation v square is equal to 2 capital G capital M over x. Now here is this capital G is universal gravitational constant. Its value is 6.67 10 power minus 11. This m is mass of the planet. Mass of the planet is given 6.4 into 10 power 23 kg. 6.4 into 10 power 23 kg. Now this distance x is equal to 4 times of the diameter. Diameter is given 6.8 into 10 power 6. Total distance is 4d, and 4 times of diameter. So 4 times of the diameter means 4 multiplied by 6.8 into 10 power 6. We have to multiply all these values and we will get an answer 3.14 into 10 power 6. This is the value for v square. We have to calculate the value of v. We have to calculate velocity, so we have to take square root of this value, and by taking the square root we will get an answer v is equal to 1.8 into 10 power 3 meter per second. Next question, 41 May June 14. Same question is repeated in variant 43 May June 15. State Newton's law of gravitation. Newton's law of gravitation states force of attraction between 2 point masses is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of their separation. By combining these two expressions, we get F is equal to G m1 m2 over r square, where this G is constant of proportionality and is known as universal gravitational constant. So same thing is written here, 2 point masses attract each other with a force which is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of their separation. The planet Neptune has 8 moons. Each moon orbits Neptune in a circular path of radius r with a time period of t. Assuming that Neptune and each moon behave as point masses, show that r and t are related to the expression Gmn is equal to 4 pi square r cube over t square, where G is the gravitational constant and Mn is the mass of the Neptune. Okay, moon is moving around the Neptune, so there is a centripetal force and also there is a gravitational force, so we can say gravitational force is equal to centripetal force. Gravitational force is given as G m1 m2 over r square. In this case, for m1, in place of m1 we are using capital M into n, that is mass of Neptune, and in place of m2 we are using small m. This small m is mass of the moon that is revolving around Neptune. Okay, centripetal force is given as mr omega square. Also here this small m is mass of the moon. Now this small m will be cancelled out, and after cancelling we will get G, capital G mn over r square is equal to r. This omega is angular velocity, and angular velocity is equal to 2 pi over t. That's why we have written here 2 pi over t whole square in place of omega square. And by rearranging these values, we will get Gmn is equal to 4 pi square r cube over t square. The same equation we have derived. Okay, next part C. Data for the moon Triton and the Triton that orbits Neptune, and for the moon Oberon that orbits the planet Uranus are given in figure 1.1. Okay, this is the planet, two planets. We have two planets, Neptune and Uranus, and the moon of Neptune is Triton, moon of Uranus is Oberon. Radius and time period for both the moons are given here. Use the expression in B to determine the ratio mass of Neptune divided by mass of Uranus. Okay, we have just calculated, we have derived an equation Gmn is equal to 4 pi square r cube over t square. If we have to calculate mass, we have to take this G from here to that side. When we will take G on this side, we will get 4 pi square r cube over gt square. Because this G is in multiplication form, in numerator, when we will take G on the other side, it will become denominator. So we can say value of mass will be equal to 4 pi square r cube over gt square. Mass will be equal to 4 pi square r cube over gt square. Okay. In numerator there is mass of Neptune. When there is a mass of Neptune, we have to this distance r, we have to take this r, the distance between Neptune and Triton, and this t will be time period of the moon that is moving around Neptune, and the moon name of the moon is Triton, so we have to take time period of Triton, and here we have to take distance between Neptune and Triton. For mass of Uranus, same thing we have to do, but just a small change. For distance, we have to take distance from Uranus to Oberon, and we have to take time period of Oberon. This 4 pi square will be cancelled out. This G and this capital G will be cancelled out, and by rearranging, we will get R Neptune to Triton, time period of Oberon multiplied by time period of Oberon, distance between Uranus and Oberon, and multiplied by time period of Neptune. Okay, one thing more, it is cube. It is cube. It is r cube. It is r cube. It is t square. It is t square. So we have to substitute the values and we will get the answer 1.18. 1.18 is ratio of two masses. That's why there will be no unit. The answer is 1.18. Please remember this one. This is r cube. This is not r. This is r cube. This is r cube. And this is not t. This is t square. So here we have to write r cube, we have to take r cube, here we have to take t square, here we have to take t square. Next question, 41 October November 15, and same question is repeated in variant 42 October November 15. A satellite of mass ms is in a circular orbit of radius x about the Earth. The Earth may be considered to be an isolated uniform sphere with its mass m concentrated at its center. Show that the kinetic energy Ek of the satellite is given by the expression Ek is equal to G capital M small ms over 2x, where G is gravitational constant extraneous working. Okay, a satellite is orbiting Earth. It means there is a centripetal force and there is a gravitational force, and gravitational force is equal to centripetal force. For gravitational force, we use formula G m1 m2 over r square. In this case, for m1, we have taken capital M, that is mass of Earth. This small ms is mass of the satellite, and this x is the separation between the satellite and Earth. Here centripetal force is equal to mv square over r. We have written msv square over x. This ms is mass of satellite, v velocity of the satellite with which it is moving, and this x is the distance between the satellite and center of the Earth. Okay, just a small arrangement here. I have taken this x on the other side. This x is taken on this side. It is in denominator here. When we will take this x on the other side, it will become numerator, and one x will be cancelled out by this x, and we will get G capital M small mx is equal to msv square. Now this equation is multiplied by 1 over 2 on both sides. By multiplying by 1 over 2 on both sides, we get 1 over 2 capital G capital M small ms over x is equal to 1 upon 2 msv square. Why we have done this one? We know for a formula of kinetic energy, it is equal to half mv square, and it is written here half mv square. So we can write in case of this kinetic energy, so we can say kinetic energy will be equal to half capital G capital M into small ms. The same thing we have to find out. Okay, the same equation we have derived. State an expression in terms of G capital M small ms and x for the potential energy EP of the satellite. Potential energy is given as Gmm over R minus Gmm over R. This m is mass of Earth. In place of small m, we have written here small ms, mass of satellite, because it is mentioned here that mass of satellite we have to consider ms. And the distance between them is x. Radius about the Earth is x. So in place of r, we are using x here. X is the distance between them. This small m is mass of the satellite and this m is mass of Earth. Okay, using answer 1 and 2, derive an expression for the total energy ET of the satellite. Total energy is sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. For kinetic energy, we have just derived an equation G capital M small ms over 2x. So in place of kinetic energy, we have written the same equation that we have derived. Potential energy, we have just seen that EP is equal to minus Gm ms over x. In place of potential energy, we have substituted the equation. Okay, now just we have to solve this one. We have to take LCM, and by taking LCM, we got this value, we got this equation minus G capital M small ms over 2x. So this is total energy of the system. Okay, small resistive forces acting on the satellite cause the radius of its circular orbit to change. Use your answer in A to state for the satellite whether each of the following quantities increase, decrease, or remains constant. Total energy decrease. Why decrease? You see, here is a minus sign. Minus sign represents that the value is decreasing. So we can say total energy is decreasing because of this minus sign. So decrease, sum of kinetic and potential energy is negative. Why it is decreasing? Because the sum of kinetic and potential energy or total kinetic energy is in negative. Radius of the orbit. We have studied that when an object is moving towards the surface of a planet, its potential energy decreases. In this particular case, we have potential energy with minus sign. It means its potential energy is decreasing. When potential energy is decreasing, it means it is moving towards the surface of the planet. And when it is moving toward the surface of the planet, we can say its radius is decreasing. Its distance from the surface or its distance from the center of the planet is decreasing. So radius of the orbit is decreasing. Potential energy decreases. Kinetic energy increases. Because when the object is moving toward the surface of a planet, at every instant its velocity is increasing, and kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Since velocity is increasing, so we can say kinetic energy is also increasing. And one thing more, we have derived an equation for kinetic energy that is equal to G capital M small m over 2x. This is with positive sign. Positive sign means kinetic energy is increasing. So we can say kinetic energy is increasing. So what is the answer? Total energy decreases because of sum of kinetic and potential energy is negative. Radius of the orbit decreases because the object is moving toward the surface of the planet. When it is moving toward the surface of the planet, its potential energy decreases, and with decrease in potential energy, the radius or the distance between the planet and the object decreases. Potential energy decreases because it is moving toward the surface of the planet. Kinetic energy, it is increasing because its velocity when it is moving toward the surface of the planet, its velocity is increasing. Okay. Next question. Variant 41 May June 16 and same question is repeated in variant 43 May June 16. By reference to the definition of gravitational potential, explain why gravitational potential is a negative quantity. Gravitational potential at infinity is taken 0 and gravitation is an attractive force. When the object moves from infinity, gravitational potential decreases, and when it is coming toward the surface of a planet, its potential energy decreases, and when potential energy decreases, we have to use minus sign, so making gravitational a negative quantity. Two stars A and B have their surfaces separated by a distance of 1.4 into 10 power 12 meter as illustrated in figure 1.1. These are two stars and the distance between them is 1.4 into 10 power 12 meter. Okay, point P lies on the line joining, this is point P, joining the center of the two stars. Okay, the distance x of the point P from surface of the star may be varied. This point P, this is point P, this x may be varied, this point can be moved. Okay, the variation with distance x of the gravitational potential phi at the point, gravitational potential at point P is shown in the figure 1.2. This is figure 1.2. In this figure, in this graph, what is shown? The distance between the planet is x and gravitational potential is on y-axis. A rock of mass 180 kg moves along the line joining the center of the two stars from star A toward star B. Use data from figure 1.2 to calculate the change in kinetic energy of the rock when it moves from the point where x is equal to 0.1 into 10 power 12 meter. X is equal to 0.1 into 10 power 12 meter, and this is the distance. This is the distance, 0.1. Okay, when it moves from the point this x is equal to 0.1 to x is equal to 1.2, state whether this change is an increase or a decrease. Okay. An object is moving from this distance, the star moving from this distance to this distance 1.2, from point 1 to 1.2. What is the change in the gravitational potential we have to calculate, and whether this change is positive or negative we have to find out. Okay, this is the gravity on the y-axis. There is a gravitational potential. When it is at a distance of 0.1, gravitational potential is equal to 10 into 10 power 8 joule per kg. And when it is at a distance of 1.2, its gravitational potential is 14 into 10 power 8 joule per kg. So we have to find out the difference. For difference, what we have to do? Just we have to subtract the potential at at a distance of zero point 0.1 from the potential at a distance of 1.2. At 1.2 potential is 14, at 0.1 potential is 10. At 1.2 potential is 14 and at 0.1, this is 0.1, at 0.1 potential is 10. So the difference will be 14 minus 10 into 10 power 8. 14 minus 10 into 10 power 8. For potential energy, we have formula m delta phi or m phi. So value of phi is 14 minus 10 into 10 power 8 and mass is given 180. So we have to multiply these values and we will get the answer 7.2 into 10 power 10 joule. Now the answer is positive. Since the answer is positive, so we can say potential energy is increasing. If we get answer negative, then we can say the potential energy is decreasing. Okay, so the answer is 7.2 into 10 power 10 joule and the potential energy is increasing. At a point where x is equal to 0.1 into 10 power 12 meter, the speed of a rock is v. Determine the minimum speed v such that the rock reaches the point where x is equal to 1.2 into 10 power 12 meter. Important thing is that v is minimum. Determine the minimum speed v. When speed will be minimum when kinetic energy will be minimum, and kinetic energy will be minimum when potential energy will be maximum. So we have to calculate velocity when potential energy is maximum. Now from this graph, this is the graph. From this graph we can see that potential energy is maximum at this point. This is the point where we can say gravitational potential is maximum. So at this point kinetic energy is minimum, and if kinetic energy is minimum at this point, so velocity of the rock will be minimum at this point. So we have to calculate the velocity at that point. Okay, we know that change in kinetic energy will be equal to change in potential energy, and a loss in potential energy will be equal to gain in kinetic energy, or we can say gain in potential energy will be loss in potential energy. Okay, simply we can say change in kinetic energy will be equal to change in potential energy. Kinetic energy is given as half mv square and potential energy is given as m delta phi. This small m is mass of the rock. This mass of the rock will be cancelled out and we will get half v square is equal to delta phi. And to make subject v square, we have to take 1 over 2 from here to the other side of is equal to, and it will become 2 multiplied by phi, delta phi, 2 delta phi. Now what is the value of delta phi? Initial value for phi is 10 and we have just checked out that at this point velocity will be minimum. So at this point the potential is 4.4. So the difference will be 10 minus 4.4. So change in gravitational potential will be equal to 10 minus 4.4 into 10 power 8. 10 minus 4.4 into 10 power 8. Okay. Okay, 10 minus 4.4 is equal to 5.6. This is 5.6 into 10 power 8. And by calculating the values, we get v square is equal to 1.1 into 10 power 9. Now we have to take square root of this value. By taking square root, we got the answer v is equal to 3.3 into 10 power 4 meter per second. So this is the minimum speed. Next question. Variant 41 October November 16 and same question is repeated in variant 43 October November 16. A satellite is in a circular orbit of radius r about the Earth of mass m as illustrated in figure 1.1. The mass of Earth may be assumed. This is satellite, this is Earth, and this is moving around the Earth. We have to derive an expression t square is equal to 4 pi square r cube over gm. Okay. Satellite is moving around, means there is a centripetal force, and between these two objects there is also gravitational force. So we can say gravitational force is equal to centripetal force. Gravitational force is equal to centripetal force. Now gravitational force formula G m1 m2 over r square. In this case we have used, in place of m1 capital M, that is mass of Earth. In case of m2 we have used small m, that is mass of the satellite. So gravitational force will be equal to capital G capital M small m over r square. And for centripetal force we have a formula mr omega square, where m is mass of the satellite moving around, r is the distance between the satellite and the planet. In this case our planet is Earth, so we can say this r is the distance between Earth and the satellite. This omega is angular velocity, and angular velocity is given as 2 pi over t. So in place of omega, here we have written 2 pi over t. This is square, so we have to put square here. Okay, by rearranging all these values, we get t square is equal to 4 pi square r cube over gm. The same thing we have to derive, that is already we have derived. A satellite in geostationary orbit appears to remain above the same point on the Earth and has a period of 24 hours. State two other features of geostationary orbit. Okay, what are the conditions of geostationary orbit? The condition for geostationary orbit, there are three conditions. First condition, that is they are in equatorial orbit. First condition, equatorial orbit. Okay, with exactly the same period of rotation. Second condition is that time period of the geostationary orbit should be equal to the time period of Earth and move in the same direction. Third condition is that the satellite should move in the same direction as direction of Earth. So here one condition, it is written here, a satellite in geostationary orbit appears to remain above the same point on Earth, has a period of 24 hours. Time period of the satellite is same as time period of Earth. Now what are the two other remaining conditions? First condition is it always remain at equator. It should be in equatorial orbit and it should be at equator. And second condition, what is the remaining condition? That it and move in the same direction of Earth, west to east. direction of rotation of satellite is in the same direction as that of Earth rotation, that is west to east. Okay, the mass m of the Earth is 6 into 10 power 24 kg. Use the expression in A to determine the radius of geostationary orbit. Okay, what we have to do? What we have to calculate? We have to calculate the distance. This radius of geostationary orbit we have to calculate by using this formula. The formula we have derived, we have to use the same formula. T square is equal to 4 pi square r cube over gm. Now we have to calculate the value of r. So we have to make r our subject, and other quantities we have to take on other side. Remaining quantities you have to take on the other side. So r cube will be equal to gm t square over 4 pi square. This capital G is universal gravitational constant, 6.67 10 power minus 11. This m is mass of Earth. It is given 6 into 10 power 24. This t is time period of rotation of Earth. Earth rotates in 24 hours. So our time period is 24 hours, but we have to take time period in seconds, so we have to convert this hour into second. To convert, what we have to do, just we have to multiply this one by 60 into 60, or just we can also say that we have to multiply 24 by 3600. Here this is t square, that's why we have to take the square of this value. Now divide by 4 pi square, divided by 4 pi square, we got the answer 7.57 10 power 22. This is for answer for r cube. We have to calculate r, so we have to take cube root of this value. By taking cube root of this value, we got 4.2 into 10 power 7. So the distance between the satellite from center of the Earth is 4.2 into 10 power 7 meters. This is the answer. A global positioning system GPS satellite orbits the Earth at a height of 2 into 10 power 4 km above the Earth's surface. The radius of the Earth is 6.4 into 10 power 3 km. Use your answer in B 2 and the expression t square is proportional to r cube to calculate in hours the period of the orbit of the satellite. Okay. Here one expression is given, t square is proportional to r cube, t square is proportional to r cube. When we replace the sign of proportionality by is equal to sign, we have to keep one constant. So the constant we have represented here by alphabet k. So we have t square is equal to k r cube. What we have to do, just we have to calculate value of this constant, because we have to use this value later on. Okay, how will we calculate this value? This t is time period and this r is the distance between satellite and and the Earth. This r is the distance from center of the Earth to the satellite. Now this t time period we have calculated. No, we have not calculated, but we know that this time period is 24 hours because Earth rotates. Earth make one complete rotation in 24 hours. So value of t is 24 hours. Okay, what is the value of this small r? R is the distance, and this distance we have calculated. It is 4.2 into 10 power 7. So it is 4.2 into 10 power 7 cube, and by calculating we got k is equal to 7.6 into 10 power minus 21. Okay, the same equation t square is equal to k r cube we have written again. Now what we have to do, we have to calculate time period. We have to calculate in hours the period of the orbit of the satellite. Which satellite? This GPS. We have to calculate the radius of this GPS. Same formula that we have derived here, t square is equal to k r cube, we are using here. We have to calculate the value of this t. This k is constant, and the value of the constant we have calculated 7.6 into 10 power minus 21. We have substituted this value 7.6 into 10 power minus 21 in this formula. This r is the distance from satellite to the center of Earth. Okay, now here it is given a global positioning system GPS satellite orbits the Earth at a height of 2 into 10 power 4 kilometer. Means the satellite is at a height of 2 into 10 power 4 kilometer from surface of the Earth. But we have to take distance from center of the Earth. So we have to add the radius of Earth in this value. So total distance of the satellite from center of the Earth will be sum of 2 into 10 power 4 and 6.4 into 10 power 3. So 6.4 into 10 power 3 and 2 into 10 power 4. 2 into 10 power 4 and 6.4 into 10 power 3. The total distance will be sum of radius and the distance of the satellite from the surface of the Earth. Okay, we have just added these two values. One thing more, the distance is given in kilometer. This kilometer we have to convert in meters. So 6.4 into 10 power 3 kilometer, when we convert this one into meter, we have to multiply this one by 1000, or we can say we have to multiply this one by 10 power 3. And same thing here, 2 into 10 power 4 kilometer. This kilometer we have to convert into meter. For converting into meter, we have to multiply this one by 10 power 3. And in the formula, it is a cube. So we have to take cube of this value. And by calculating these values, we get an answer 140. This 140 is answer of t square. We have to calculate t. To calculate t, we have to take square root of 140, and by taking square root of 140, it will be approximately equal to 12 hours. So our answer is 12 hours. So this is end of the session. Thank you very much.